Hello again, world geography students. Today we're going to look at maps. Maps, maps, maps. I told you on day one that world geography was more than just about maps, but it is also about maps. So let's look at that today. Here is a basic map. This is a map of the world divided up by countries. You can see the United States here where we are, Canada, South America, all these countries here in Africa. Don't be confused, Africa is not a country. We may have seen that in a video earlier as well. So let's move on here. Let's take a look at some major types of maps. Three major types we're going to focus on, and there are many more than this, are topographical, physical, and political maps. The first, a topographical map, just shows the landforms, kind of what we covered before, and showing these major features, rivers, streams, mountains, lakes, gulfs. These will be in a physical map. And most units will start out looking at a physical map. For example, we'll cover a physical map of the United States. Next, a political map. A political map is showing boundaries. It could be counties, it could be countries, it could be states in the United States. In this map, it's showing the provinces or states of Australia, and we'll get to that at the end of the year. Next, a topographical map. This is a map that shows relief. I traveled to Colorado over this summer, and I saw some topographical maps when we were up in the mountains. This might be used for a hiker or to plan a building or to build a road. You might use a topographical map. Let's look at parts of the maps. Most maps, and what we're dealing with today is more of a printed map. We'll look at digital maps towards the end of the lecture, but most maps have the following elements. You'll have a title. This is the information. It tells you what you're looking at, just like the title of a book. Here on this map here, you see the county map of Texas. There's a title of this map. This is a political map of Texas, and it's a county map of Texas. Next, you'll have a compass rose. This is what gives you directions, shows you where north, south, east, and west is. You go back to this map. Bad example, no compass rose. There it is. North is up north here. This is our simple compass rose. Most of them are more detailed than this. This is one showing north, east, south, and west. As elementary school, I learned never eat soggy waffles, and you kind of see how that goes. Next, you'll have labels. These are words or phrases that explain the map. You're seeing it again here. Here it tells you what the county seat is, telling you where these states are, telling you what the county is, where the Gulf of Mexico. These are labels, labeling things on the map. Next, you'll have a legend. If we go back to this map, here's your legend. It tells you where the international boundary is, what these little symbols mean. What is state capital? What does that mean? What's that star mean? That means the state capital. Okay. What's the city mean? Little dots are cities. So it's our county seats. So it's telling you what different stuff on the map means. Next, you're going to have a legend or key, and this is going to tell you what, we already covered that. Next, you're going to have a scale. It shows you how big the map is. If we go back to Texas, you can see this little distance down here, and it's getting covered up, is equal to 200 miles. So down there at the bottom, the little distance there is equal to 200 miles. You can see it again on this scale. This little thing, an inch is equal to 1 mile. This is a smaller map. An inch is equal to 200 miles. It may be a big expanded map. You also can have symbols in the map, and we talked a little bit of those, but this is an example of what a symbols in a map may be. Some maps have dozens of symbols. Some maps only have a few. It depends on what the map you're looking at. Here's you see parts of the map again. We're going to cover longitude and latitude tomorrow, so we'll get to that. We're seeing more parts of a map. And then some maps have color. For example, blue might equal water, brown might equal the land, green might equal a forest, different stuff like that depending on what type of map you're looking at. Lastly, before we leave our lecture today, we're going to take a look at a digital map. And this is a much more detailed map as we attempt to look at anyway. Google Earth. And we're trying to load it as we speak here. So Google Earth is a great tool, particularly in this class, for just kind of looking around, exploring stuff. And we could spend hours just talking about all the cool stuff you can do on Google Earth. But it still works as a map. This is just a digital map. It's a 3D digital map in some respects. We can take ourselves all the way down here and look at Nacogdoches and zoom right into where we're setting, or where I'm setting anyway. And look at Nacogdoches High School. Working a little slower today because of the screen capture. But as you get lower, you can get more and more detailed into the map. As we see different areas of Nacogdoches as we get closer and closer. Appleby, we're getting closer. And there you see, and we can get all the way down to the level where we can see the high school. And we'll cover this in more detail later.